Chapter 441, Farewell. His little brother was extremely excited, and he swiftly contacted everyone else. They all arrived shortly. Even Hong and Thunder God arrived. "What, little Fong, you are leaving for so long?" His mother Gong Xin Lon couldn't help but exclaim. Because of the large amounts of treasures that helped alter and enhance them from the inside out, whether it was his mother or father, they both still looked very young, like they were in their 30s. "That's pretty long." His father Luo Honghua couldn't help but say too. "The most important thing is..." His little brother Luo Hua said, "Just the travel alone will be 3 years, and returning will take another 3 years. And you have to stay at the headquarters for a long time. Just the primal universe participation will take 100 years. This is simply..." Luo Feng sat there, feeling uncomfortable. He had just received the email from the Virtual Universe Company informing him that they would pick him up in 12 days' time, from Bylon Star. Within the email it spoke of the participation within the primal universe being 30 years. However, the time flow in there was different compared to outside, as the time flowed slower within that space. 30 years in the primal universe would mean 100 years in the actual universe. The good news was that even though he was within the primal universe, he could still enter the virtual universe network. Luo Feng felt his hand being squeezed. He turned to look at his wife Su Xin beside him, who was still dressed in her office attire. She held his hands, and her eyes filled with reluctance. "All right, be good." Luo Feng gently touched the back of her hand. "Dad, Mom, it's actually not as serious as you think. Even though I'm leaving Earth, I can still enter the virtual universe once in a while." He forced out a smile. The virtual universe 100% simulation is no different from meeting in reality. Even though it says 100%, however, Daddy, it's still not reality. Luo Hai couldn't help but say. Luo Feng extended his hand and pulled his 2 sons over. He couldn't bear to leave them. He really couldn't bear to leave his whole family behind. However, Luo Honghua and Gong Xin Lon had both experienced the Great Nirvana era. Luo Hua and the others too experienced the Swallowing Beast disaster, etc., disasters that happened to Earth time and again, along with their perceptions widening with more information from the universe. They understood that what he was doing was right. "Third brother, you are doing the right thing." In the grass patch in front of Luo Feng's house, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God stood together. "I see it clearly." Dressed in all black, Hong gazed far away. "Back during the Great Nirvana when I was young, I saw the many painful scenes of countless fellow people dying. I understood that someone from us had to stand out. We couldn't survive without anyone taking the lead. Hence I built the Dojo of Limits, built the competition structure and raised the strength of human fighters. However, the universe is tens of thousands of times more dangerous than just Earth." Hong exclaimed, "The competition will be even more intense. Just look, even though there are trillions of human races, some of the races have completely been enslaved." Luo Feng nodded. Thunder God nodded too. "Why have they been enslaved?" "It's because they didn't have any true absolute warrior from their race. Their race itself isn't strong enough." Hong shook his head. "If their race had just one undying, even if that undying wasn't within their area, but somewhere else in the universe, just one undying alone would scare off the slave traders and intimidate others. One aboriginal race. If an aboriginal race enters the universe for the first time, there are usually 3 outcomes. One is to be stepped on and become subservient, which was still okay. The second outcome is to immediately be enslaved, just like goods, and sold around. The females will be sold as waitresses, etc., while the men will be sent to do dangerous level of work. The third outcome is to rise up and become a strong race within the universe of humans. Just like our Earth now. Earth people, they haven't been enslaved and haven't been stepped on. Because of third brother? Hong looked at Luo Feng. You are the leader of the Milky Way galaxy. The leader of the Milky Way galaxy is a person from Earth, and this leader has even entered the core of the Virtual Universe Company, along with a very high position within, which was the absolute beginning secret area. Even the Black Dragon Mountain Empire wouldn't dare mess around. Even the Gonwu Universe country has to respect you. With such influence, who'd dare bully or mess with the people of Earth? Who'd dare? Luo Feng took a deep breath. Luo Feng took a deep breath. Third brother, you've done well. Hong took a deep breath and said, for a human race to rise up, especially during its early stages, means that someone had to stand out. Someone had to lead and take that bold first step. Third brother, Thunder God and I, we are still weak right now. You are doing well right now because of the genius battle. However, genius doesn't mean one is strong. Hong emphasized, people do not dare mess with you because of your position and reputation. However, the moment you fall, with our little strength, how will we protect Earth? Even universe-level slaves could be bought in the market. Hong and Thunder God were only star level, how could they protect Earth? Hence, third brother, we have to rely on you now to carry the burden. Hong emphasized, we both will work hard too. In 10,000 years, Earth will have the three of us to protect it. By then, Earth itself would have produced generations of strong warriors. Then its power will rise greatly, and when it's that strong, we wouldn't have to rely on one person to intimidate others. When a race could produce universe levels one generation after another, occasionally producing a domain lord, no slave trader would dare mess with them anymore. Work hard. Hong emphasized. Relax, 30, we will chase up to you very quickly. Thunder God laughed. We three will work hard together. Luo Feng smiled too. To Earth, this was a very important era. An era of great change. Whether the people of Earth would be placed in the middle levels amongst the countless human races, or be stepped on right at the bottom, doing the most tedious and dangerous works, getting the least amounts of pay or even nothing as slaves, it all depended on these 10,000 years. And Hong, Thunder God and Luo Feng, these three had long realized this. They were Earth's strongest. If they didn't take this burden, who else would? Night. Yangzhou City Westlake Courtyard, the moonlight was mesmerizing as it was shining through the window into the bedroom. Inside the bedroom, a thin blanket covered two bodies which were wrapped tightly around each other, almost as though they were venting out all their reluctance madly. After some time, Luo Feng wore his pajamas and walked onto the balcony, looking up at the sky and the moon. This was the moon of his home. Earth's moon. And in the coming 100 years or so, he wouldn't be able to witness this scene. You are leaving tomorrow? Similarly dressed in her pajamas, Su Xin hugged Luo Feng from behind as she gently snuggled to his back. Yes. Luo Feng gently nodded. Sorry. What are you sorry about? We are an old couple already. Su Xin walked to his side, looking at the moonlight. She laughed. Time passes so quickly. In the blink of an eye, we've been married for over 10 years. It is indeed fast. Luo Feng nodded. They had been married for over 10 years. These 10 years, with the sea creatures invading the bases, with the swallowing beast disaster, with the Llewellyn Shawn family invading Earth, with the world within the world fight for treasures, and the recent 5 to 6 years of the genius battle, his wife had quietly supported him from the shadows throughout these ordeals. I still remember back in high school. Su Xin smiled. You are still a student at the dojo. New chapters will be fully updated at novl/bin.com. You were still a plain and simple lady back then. Luo Feng laughed. The main thing was my grandfather made me attend a normal high school, not some expensive private school. Su Xin said, and he also restricted me from revealing my family roots or talk about love or anything. Honestly, the reason our Su family was able to rise up was indeed because of my grandfather. He's a very knowledgeable man. Luo Feng nodded. During the Great Nirvana, when the bases were first built, the Su family initially didn't have much background, but because of her grandfather's hard work, they made it to this level. He was indeed an exceptional figure. Back then you used to secretly look at me from behind. Su Xin smiled. Haha. Luo Feng laughed too. You were even caught many times. The moment you got caught, you'd get shy. Even I wasn't like that. Su Xin couldn't help but say. The married couple spoke a lot during the night. They even left Yangzhou City and flew to many places on Earth to look around. They went to Egypt to see the pyramids, to the ancient Great Wall, looking at the traces of the wilderness breaking into the city. Finally they stood before the Yellow River. The water creatures were plenty within. Luo Feng stood by the shore and grabbed some soil from the ground and used a bowl to store some of the river water. He then kept it within his storage ring. Beside him, Su Xin watched this quietly. Let's go, we'll go back. Luo Feng gripped Su Xin's hand. So. His domain became a light net, becoming a golden shooting star and heading towards Yangzhou City. 2071 September 18th. The pinnacle of the humans of Earth, Luo Feng sat in the universe ship and left Earth. This trip was going to be a very long one, and by the time he returned, the world would have changed drastically. Bylon Star. Master. His slave guard said respectfully. HM. Luo Feng turned to look at his 2 soul slaves. Both of them were universe level 9s. He said seriously, D-Fan, by Kalo, this time I'm heading to the primal universe located within the Virtual Universe Company's headquarters. I have no way to bring anyone along. Hence I have to leave both of you on Earth. Understood. D-Fan and Baikalo nodded. I've already passed all the techniques to you. If you do not understand anything, you can enter the Virtual Universe Network and contact me. Luo Feng said seriously, I think, with your talents and the techniques I've given you, the next time I see you you'll both have entered the Domain Lord level. The 2 slaves had extremely high talents. Only thing was that one was a slave before and the other one had a teacher that was Llewellyn Shawn. Without a proper teacher, you wouldn't get good techniques. Many strong warriors in the universe lacked good teachers and techniques, as a good teacher's instructions could raise the efficiency of a strong warrior being produced by 10 times. Luo Feng turned to the distance. An ancient translucent black long blade like simple ship descended from above. I have to go. Luo Feng turned and looked seriously at D-Fan and Baikalo, when I'm not around, help me to protect my family. As for Earth's safety, with the intimidation of the Virtual Universe Company, no one would dare come mess with Earth. Yes, Master. Di Fan and Bai Kalo replied respectfully. Following which Luo Feng flew directly towards that simple ship.